Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Yashambha Suryamanayam Krishner Parama Purusher Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsa Shokamoha Vayapaham. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much, all the devotees who are gathering this evening. So the topic of today is, what is the topic? कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशन तो रहती है ना कि पिछली बार ये सुने थे अभी ये सुनेंगे, कुछ ऐसा है. What was the topic last week? You know, we are very much, listening, and we are doing the devotion very nicely, which no one can comment on that, but it is also important to carry what you have heard. Otherwise it becomes that by the end of...
Prabhu, last week was the story of Govardhan Parvat, Krishna lifting...
Okay, at least now you remember what it is. It was about Krishna lifting a Govardhan hill.
Yes.
So what was the purpose of Krishna introducing Indra to, or stopping the worship of Indra and introducing the worship of Govardhan hill? What was the purpose behind it?
To teach a lesson to Indra.
Well, Krishna, you know what? Krishna doesn't envy nobody. He is not there to teach lesson to anybody.
Indra was very proud.
We say that, falana ko bahut lesson sikaunga. Krishna, his devotees are too important. He is totally involved with playing with his devotees or making his devotees satisfied. You think he has a time to teach a lesson to somebody who he thinks is... I mean, he has no way to take a revenge from anybody, does he? Does Krishna needs to take revenge? Is anybody a challenge to the mission of Krishna? You think that Krishna can be challenged? Is he scared that somebody is going to be as rich as himself? So, he needs to take all the money off his bank now. So it is not a question of taking a revenge, but it's a question of establishing a principle. So what is the principle that Krishna is trying to teach by lifting the Govardhan hill? That worship, aradhana, is not a demand. Like a person who is being worshipped, it's not like a dictatorship of, you say, who is that German leader?
Hitler.
It is not, Krishna's mission is not like a Hitler, either you worship me or I'm just going to crucify you. It's not that way. But the process of worship and process of devotion is that everything is the choice of a worshipper. To say that, yes, I want to worship Shri Krishna, Krishna is my Ishtadev, and I have nothing more than worshipping Krishna, you voluntarily do it. Just like a mother looking after the child. The child is not holding a knife in his hand saying, Mom, you cook or I kill. Is it a process of threat or is it a process of love?
It's a law.
It's a process of love. So it is not Krishna is holding, Are, karna hai to karo, nahi to dikhai nahi Sudarshan Chakra hath mein. You see this Sudarshan Chakra is going to go around now. This is not a process. Krishna has nothing to fear about. And if somebody chooses not to surrender to Krishna, Krishna says, Yat karosi, yat ichchasi tatha karo, you do what you want. I would guide you to some level, I would send devotees, I would send acharyas, everything, and give you the good guidance. And after that you decide that you don't want to follow my process, I have no problem. That you do what you want. But there are results being assigned. Isn't it? If you drink a cold water means you are going to get cold. You understand? There is a side effect of the object itself. That is not controlled by a person. You think that water, you blame a person who builds or creates a freeze for you to get a cold because you drank a cold water. Who does the blame go in? A creator of the freeze or a person who drank the water? So Krishna has the system laid down, nothing else. So he's not. Nadate kasati papam naichava sukritam bigo. I'm not responsible for anything. Krishna has created the system. The system is that if you surrender, this what happens. If you don't surrender, this what happens. So in between, Krishna doesn't interfere now. Okay? So if you surrender, what Krishna says? Maschita sarvadurgana mat prasada tarisyasi. If you surrender unto me, Maschita sarvadurganam. Durgana means all types of difficulties. Tarishyasi means to be delivered. if you surrender unto me, you will be delivered from all types of difficulties. What is the greatest difficulties? That
Ego.
entering into the animalistic kingdom. That is the greatest danger, Krishna says. Losing ego. Death is not a danger, because death is simply the cycle, it's a change. Okay? But the problem is that losing a human species of life, which allows us to engage in devotional service, the form itself is so convenient for all that, losing this form of life is the greatest danger, according to Bhagavatam, as we have already studied. So Krishna said, at least by engaging in devotional service, if you cannot attain me in one lifetime, sometimes it is one lifetime, now according to Srimad Bhagavatam, it is millions of lifetimes already that we have taken. And this time we intend to become more serious than other life. So even if we make a mess up now, there is a chance that we might make a mess up and we might not get Krishna again. But Krishna puts us into different situation. Maybe right now he is putting us in a situation where we are having to do a sadhu sangha 2 hours every week. Maybe he is going to create such an environment that it is going to be a sadhu sangha, whole house is a sadhu sangha. Always Dada and Dadi, they are doing Kirtan and you become the part of their Kirtan. You can't run away from it. So he creates the entire environment of birth in that way and gives you a better opportunities. But Krishna guarantees that you won't lose a human form of life that allows you to engage in devotional service. So the point of Krishna showing that is exactly what we are going to talk about Maharaj Prithu today. The topic is, so I just wanted to connect to the last topic, to this topic, because last week's topic was a surprise topic for me. I did not know I had to talk about that. So I spoke about the topic, and today's topic is entirely based on the devotees not desiring for any types of material benefits, but only wanting a spiritual benefit. We will see how that is possible for Maharaj Prithu. And the residents of Vrindavan, what was their attitude of worshipping Indra? Why were they worshipping? For rain, again material benefit. So Krishna, why would he involve his own family to become a family member of Krishna? You think that why is that I am not a family of Krishna right now? Why is it that I don't become a part of Yadu dynasty where Krishna is right there? Why is it that one of the Matajis are not one of the gopis who is churning a makhan saying, Prabhu, don't disturb me, Krishna is coming at 10 o'clock, I have to get this makhan ready. Why is it not? And there must be a great credit why we are here also. But what I am saying is, why are we not that part of that? There were millions of people who were part of Krishna's mission, and why is it that we are not? So there is every reason. So within that family of Krishna where these unalloyed devotees are living, why should there be a tinge of this fruitive action of fear that if I don't worship, Indra is not going to give a rain? Why should Krishna's family members be afraid of that situation? Is it right?
Yes.
So then Krishna says, okay, I'll make a stoppage to it. It might be a little bit hard. Transition period is always hard, isn't it? To become a devotee, if you are used to eating a food that is like, very strong smell of onion, garlic, in beginning to just eat a potato jhol, might be a little bit difficult. The swad kahan gaya? Iska swad, sugandha kahan gaya? Shuru mein to kathinai. Everything has a hardship. Yatadagre visamiva parinami mrityupamam. Tatsukha sattikam praptam atmabuddhi prasadam. That which is yatadagre visamiva, which is poison at beginning. Krishna says, is actually a nectar at the end. That is the happiness in mode of goodness. Mode of goodness has to have a poison in beginning. For something to be, there is a saying, no pain,
No gain.
no gain. So if there has to be a gain, there has to be a pain. If there is no pain in beginning, means there is no good gain at last. So in a process of devotion, everything is like that. It starts with pain of getting up early in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So you look around and you see every neighbors of your, community sleeping, and you are the only one going Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Why am I not sleeping? Huh? It's hard. It's a Vishamiva. It's poison at beginning. Then ultimately when you start getting the taste of that devotion right within you, then you start thinking, why are these guys wasting their life? Then you start seeing a problem on them. Before it was problem on you. Then the process of devotion opened your eyes and you start seeing the problem in somebody else. then you begin to develop a nectar. Yes? Then, when the nectar develops, Krishna says that you don't want to leave it. If somebody says, "Hare, a time waste," sometimes devotees say that when we come to America and we become ISKCON devotees, we go back to India, then you start getting up at 4 o'clock chant. Then the parents say, "तुमको अमेरिका क्यों भेजा था? तुमको कंप्यूटर टेक्नोलॉजी का जॉब के लिए भेजा था, तुम तो ये हरे कृष्णा बन के आ गए यहाँ पे." Then there is a problem in a family. Then you have to fight with the family also to make them, let them know that what I am doing is this. I do have a taste for this. And I knew somebody, that was from New Delhi. His son was supposed to be here in Navy. He came as a working for the United States. So slowly he got so much interested in devotional life that he says, "I don't want to be in Navy." So he became a computer engineer. He says Navy is not too much befitting for the devotees. The environment is not right for him. He's changed the job. So then he goes back to India with mala in his hand. His father said, "I spent so much in trying to getting this job. By the time I thought you will come with this big medals on two sides, you come with a Jopamala." It's a big surprise. So he was having a hard time with his families now, trying to explain what happened to him. But at no cost he was ready to change. Then he commented to his mother when I went, he says, "Prabhuji, you need to go to Delhi now." So when I was in New Jersey, he got me a ticket. He says, "You need to do a saptah for 7 days in Delhi, and I can make all the arrangements for you." So he made all the arrangements. I stayed at their house. So for first 3 days, because I was getting up early in the morning to prepare for Bhagavatam, they were having a hard time. If Prabhuji is already up, means we have to get up early to make prasadam also. They were sleeping up to 9 o'clock otherwise. The retired family. So ultimately, this process of devotion went such. Yesterday he told me that they are initiated by Bhakti Charuswami now. The parents are initiated by Bhakti Charuswami, and he's been initiated by Radhanath Swami. So it's hard. You see, this transition period is very hard. So Krishna, he's trying to say, okay, first part will be hard. And what was that hardship in that? That everything was filled up with water. So there is going to be this situation. So that was the topic. The connection to that is Maharaj Prithu is another character of being an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. So we know within that kingdom, Maharaj Prithu, besides being a devotee of the Supreme Lord, he was also a ruler. He was ruler of Saptadip. Saptadip, according to Srila Prabhupada, he says that entire African nation, the Mexico and North America, these were all the ruling department of Maharaj Prithu. So he was ruling over to a lot of the world. So then he thought, under the guidance of Brahmanas, that he should do a Ashwamedha Yajna. Ashwam means the horse. Medha means the horse sacrifice. So the Brahmanas say, "Maharaj Prithu, because you are the most powerful kings and no one can challenge you at this point, for a person like you, Ashwamedha Yajna is important." So in Ashwamedha Yajna, the nature of Ashwamedha Yajna is that the king would select a horse, the powerful horse, and within that horse there would be a banner that has been put on, and within that banner is written, "This horse is being released by Maharaj Prithu. He wishes to become the king of the planet. If anybody that is there that does not want to accept the supremacy of Maharaj Prithu may capture this horse. As a result of such, he would fight with Maharaj Prithu. If he wins him, Maharaj Prithu will have to stop the horse sacrifice, or if Maharaj Prithu is able to win, then he goes, you have to release this horse." So the horse was sent. So nobody captured it. The horse came back. After touring over the planet, the horse came back. So then Maharaj Prithu asked his son, he said, "Just tie the horse next to the pillar, the golden pillar that is there within our yajna, and get 100 horses now beside that." So they got 100 horses. The principle of this horse yajna is that through the process of mantra, as we are talking about King Vane, who was killed by the Brahmanas, how was he done? He was dissolved by the mantras itself. So the horse is to be dissolved within the fire through the mantras, and from that form of a horse, a Brahman would appear from every horse. Every horse transformed into a Brahman through the process of mantra. So basically the procedure is that giving an animal a highest birth of a Brahman, so that Brahman can be directly connected to the process of devotional service and goes back to Godhead. So this is the procedure of horse sacrifice. So this was done. So Maharaj Prithu succeeded on sacrificing 99 horses. And the last one, the 100th horse, was to be sacrificed now. The horse that was released is to be sacrificed. So at that time, there was one problem. The problem was of Lord Indra. Now, according to an ordinary rule, anyone that performs Ashwamedha Yajna, 100 horse sacrifice, he attains the qualification to become Indra. By that characteristic, he becomes Indra. Or just like we have 4 people in the position of Indra already. Surpati, Purandra, Mahendra and Devraj. So these are the 4 people that are in the line. Right now, the heaven is occupied by Devraj Indra. Then it is going to be a Surapati. Surapati becomes Maharaj Bali. So like that, this position already been assigned for who becomes it. Now, Maharaj Prithu is again performing a horse sacrifice. Indra's fear is more people that are tied to my chain means my chance of coming to the position is longer. So what did you do? He says, I need to do something to steal the horse. Make sure that last horse is not a success. So Indra came, but Maharaj Prithu being very powerful, he was afraid to come as Indra. So he came as a sannyasi. Sannyasi with a danda in the hand and kamandalu in another hand, and he took the horse and flew to the sky. So Maharaj Prithu realized that the Brahmana said, oh, well, the horse is been stolen. Somebody took the horse. You need to go and bring. So the son of Maharaj Prithu followed Indra behind. Son of Maharaj Prithu was also very powerful. So when Indra found out that this person, whose name was Vijitaswa, which he gets after rescuing the horse, but I'm just trying to give him a name so you analyze the person. His name is Vijitaswa, which means one who won over Indra to get the horse back. This was given by the Brahmanas. The Namkaran was done by the Brahmanas. So when Indra followed behind, Vijitaswa is very close to Indra and he was just about to capture him. Then Indra changed his position from a sannyasi to the Kapalik. You know what the Kapalik means? Kapalik means there are groups of sadhus who carry a danda, and there are groups of sadhus who wear the skull also. Like in India you would see different types of sadhus. Then you have a third group of sadhu called the Akhadas. So when Vijitaswa was behind Kapalik, then Indra changed his position from Kapalik to be Akhada. Then the 4th position he took was a Naga. Same Indra taking. So according to Srimad Bhagavatam, the different types of sadhus that you see in India is simply a byproduct of the corruption of Indra. There is no other introduction. So Indra took the 7 different positions of different types of Brahmanas, because if you are in the position of a Brahman, for a religious person like Vijitaswa to kill a Brahman or a sadhu is not befitting. Indra knew that Vijitaswa wanted to do that. So that is the reason of him changing the position. So ultimately, Vijitaswa caught Indra by his dhoti. So he brought him down. Then he said, okay, Brahmanas, start your sacrifice. The horse is down here. Start your sacrifice. Then he said, this time the sacrifice is going to be Indra Dahati Yajna. It is for burning Indra to the fire. Because he is daring to disturb the sacrifice of Maharaj Prithu, so Indra should be destroyed. And it was very powerful Brahmanas. Just imagine Indra Dahati Yajna. Can we do that type of yajna? What is it? Somebody says, Prabhu, why are you doing yajna? Prabhu, I am doing a havan in my house and the purpose of that yajna is Indra Dahati Yajna. And we can actually do a yajna called a Papa Dahati Yajna. That is okay for us. That, Prabhu, I have done so many sinful activities, that stops me from being a good devotee of Krishna. So therefore this is a Prayashit Yajna that I am doing to let the fire personification know that, I am very sinful and I want to burn all my sins into the sacrifice of Vishnu Mukha. That is okay for us. But there it was the sacrifice of Indra Dahati Yajna. So ultimately, when the Brahmanas begin to perform a yajna to burn Indra, there is a problem. Indra is one of the managers. He is managing entire heavenly planet. So the Brahma comes in between. Lord Brahma says, Maharaj Prithu, come on. What is this going on? You know what? Just as you are being assigned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to become the king of 7 planetary system or Saptadvip, Indra is also been assigned to look after heavenly planet. Then he said, who has no affection? A person who is not an unalloyed devotee of the Lord, who is free from the desires. Anybody that is free? Anybody can claim that they have no desires? No. So therefore, why didn't you excuse Indra? He is in great anxiety right now. His position of being the king of heaven. Sometimes we have problem. Sometimes we are fighting for a supremacy in the house between 2 people. Isn't it? कि पति का बात चलनी चाहिए या पत्नी का चलनी चाहिए, कभी कभी इसमें लड़ाई हो जाती है कि किसका बात लागू हो जाए इस घर में. ये छोटे चीज में इतना बड़ा लड़ाई होता है. यहाँ पर इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ इंद्र, द किंग ऑफ हेवन, which everyone of the planet respects him, and he is afraid of losing his position. Just try to understand him. And here you, Maharaj Prithu, who is the unalloyed devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no desire for anything. He feels challenged from you. He feels afraid that he is going to lose his position. He does not understand you yet. That your intention is not to become a king of heaven. You are the direct expansion of Supreme Lord. You think that Lord is going to fight with somebody to become a king of heaven? Is that the desire of the Lord? कि भगवान आए, कृष्ण भगवान गोलोक वृंदावन से खुश नहीं हुए, तो to become a president of the center he is fighting with us here. He is already master of so many things. So he has no desire for all that. So then Brahmaji is convincing that, you know what, this is not the intention of Indra. Or Indra is ignorant about this situation. So just, I would suggest you that instead of performing 100 Ashwamedha Yajna, just forget about the last horse. And I promise you that you will get a benefit of what you are looking for. So within that time, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, appeared right there next to Prithu. So what was his desire? To have the presence of the Lord. So then Lord came confirming that I am completely satisfied by accepting the 99 horse sacrifice. Don't spend all your energy, don't ask your son to run around Indra trying to get last horse so you could complete this sacrifice. This is not needed. So in that way, Prithu Maharaj was stopped.